President Uhuru Kenyatta is sworn in as the 4th President of the Republic of Kenya. 2 months later, the government unveils its most ambitious budget, surpassing the 1.5 trillion mark, which outlines the government's transformation agenda. Sticking to pledges made during the campaigns, money was set aside for the women and youth, free maternity care, laptops for primary school children, getting 1 million acres of land under irrigation, not forgetting keeping to the infrastructure development path set out in the previous government. But right from the onset, there seemed to be a problem in raising the funds needed to meet the obligations of the government. Add to this the devolved units of government, and the picture was clear on just how strenuous this was going to be. A deficit of 300 billion shillings in the budget meant that the Kenya Revenue Authority had to work extra hard to meet its targets.
The Kenya of yesterday is holding the Kenya of tomorrow. So the conclusion should be, now that we are after 50, because we have now finished 2013, so we are very old. We are now in 2014. Are we serious? We have anything new we want to think?
When our economy is not as buoyant as might be, there's still a bit of consumer confidence that needs to be instilled. And don't get me wrong, I think it will, over the next 6-12 months, we'll start to see an upturn.
That being the case, the government has more than once had to go back on its planned projects, perhaps an indicator of how thin the purse has become. In a bid to make ends meet, Treasury recently indicated plans to streamline expenditure, especially on non-essential areas, hoping to make between 10 to 13 billion shillings in savings over the next 5 months. Striking too in the manner of the state's cost cutting was the blanket freeze on employment announced by the cabinet late in 2013. This also includes shelving plans to restructure state corporations with the aim of making them lean and efficient. Sources have also told Kenyan business that this decision was also based on saving huge severance packages that the government could have paid out.
We have a lot of idle jobs which are being paid and producing nothing.
What is clear is that a number of the counties, in fact probably all of them, have inherited huge debts that were left there by the previous city councils. And all they're trying to do now is to make their books balance, which is by no means an easy task because they're starting with a huge debt.
Already, commercial banks indicate huge borrowings by the state to meet its goals. This, in addition to the growing taxation craze by the taxman, points to an aggressive attempt to have ends meet. But the insatiable needs for funds do not end with the national government. County governments are also keen on meeting their obligations and are facing a backlash.
Investors have to be, first of all, reassured that these governments are run well. There is a high level of accountability and transparency in running their affairs, and they have the ability to pay back what they have borrowed.
Michael Karanja, KTN Business.